Welcome back everyone. I had way too much fun with the under 10-second maps by Everios 96, and that is why we are now in his club and checking out where did this all start. We are going to under 10 seconds volume 1. And there are even multiple parts to this, so we're gonna start with part 1. And instead of going to a server right now, I just wanna see where did this all come from? How did Everios start with the under 10 second maps, which are now really popular and, well, are just there are very many of them by now. So we're just gonna check out the first ones that he did and just try and see if we can finish some with author time even. Let's see. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of time for each and every one, and we're just gonna see how we do. So let's get started with the first one. And that seems to be a grass map with a booster at the start, which you can probably take a little bit more than I did, and another booster here. And well, I think it's all about, well, first of all getting as much speed as you can from the booster, and then getting this downhill clean, getting this slope clean. Not 100% sure, like probably you get more booster speed if you're a little bit more turned towards the side that the booster is facing, so in this case towards the left. Something like that, and it was just a little bit too far, and also the angle wasn't great, so I didn't get more of the other booster. Yeah, this seems to be some kind of a trade-off between going straight towards the hill and also taking some more speed from the booster, and maybe a little bit of a release here. Almost a little bit too close to the finish there. That release was a little bit unnecessary. So yeah, I have enjoyed these under 10-second tracks quite a lot, and it seemed like also some of you, I have seen some comments already on the first video that I did where I just joined a server and played some newer ones. It seemed like it was from volume 9. We are like way deep in with all of this. Almost. Not a good angle here, but yeah, I just wanted to check out where did this all originate, how did Everios start with this. There was also some other campaign that was just short and fun or something like that. Maybe that is even more like the origin story of this. If you know, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, it definitely has become a thing in Trackmania. And I think it's great because it's, well, as I said in the last video, something that you can definitely learn something from and still have lots of fun, lots of variety, and that's just an awesome thing. And you don't have to learn like a 40-50 second track like in Cup of the Day. Which, by the way, I have been asked multiple times if and when I'm gonna do Cup of the Day, and sadly I have to say it's a really bad time slot for me with 7 PM my time. If it was an hour later, then maybe I could, but like this, it's really difficult for me to fit that in. Maybe on the weekend sometime, but yeah, for now I'm not gonna play live Cup of the Day. Maybe at some point I'm just gonna do the tracks. And we're really close to author time now here. I kind of want to get this. But you need to get this downhill properly, so yeah. Just need to get the right amount of speed. That was still a little bit too much of a bounce from the top of the hill. So yeah, it's, I think, all about, well, getting enough speed from the booster and also having the right angle for this slope. And then also for this booster here. This is interesting because the booster is on penalty surface. You also go over some penalty surface, but obviously, like, just skipping the booster is slower. And even if you go over some penalty with the booster, that's just offsetting that. How did I even get this so great for this PB that I had? I'm not even managing to get that again, but as I said, so close. Like, it's also about the timing of my steering here, because there's gear shifts happening quite quickly. But maybe this a little bit too far forwards. So close. Now it's only 0.035. That's not much. If I had released a little bit in that PB and gotten a little bit of an earlier landing, that might have been it. But like this, if you land too much on top of the hill, then that's just not great, and this is just way too wide. So yeah, there's loads of things. Like, as I said, it's just such a short map, but still you have so much to optimize here. And even this end, like, you kind of want to smooth steer to a degree, but also you don't want to hit the finish. You actually want to make that, and it's like these little things, and I think all of this really can help you become a better Trackmania player. And this is ultimately what I'm trying to do with all of what I do on this channel here. I mean, of course, I also want to entertain, but I also want to get better, finally, at Trackmania. That's the ultimate goal, the ultimate challenge that I set myself when starting this channel and deciding to start with Trackmania instead of something else. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to do anything else on this channel. It's not a pure Trackmania channel, at least I'm not planning on having it that, but still, for the beginning now, I'm focusing on Trackmania here. I'm not really getting this uphill or the downhill properly anymore. Like, for the speed, it's actually about smooth steering, so maybe we need to steer more in the beginning and then just smooth steer for when we go towards the uphill. That might be... well, I at least can make the jump then, but I don't have the angle at the moment, so... let's see. It's definitely difficult, but I mean, these little things can, I think, really help you become a better Trackmania player. If I manage to like figure out these kind of mechanics, this will help you even on the longer, bigger maps, when you eventually have something that is kind of similar to these mechanics. So now with that acquired knowledge, let's try and get this author time finally. Oh, so close. Almost didn't make the finish, but yeah, it was basically just about how you angled the car and that you actually made that jump. You could see in the beginning that I was quite a bit ahead of my PB before, and yeah, that's kind of the trick. And yeah, as I said, here just smooth steering, basically no sliding for that towards this uphill to actually have the speed to make this jump. Didn't have it super clean, and yes, this finish could have definitely been a lot faster, but at least we managed. So let's move on to track number 2. So let's see what this is all about. Once again, Stadium Car. We've seen that Everios also builds maps now with old cars. Will be interesting to see if we do have any in this first iteration. Not 100% sure if this is even a drift, but we're gonna do that. And oh, actually quite close already to author time. Actually see, might be just a release. Yeah, if I had a little bit of a better line for the end. Or maybe it's actually time. Maybe this is even without a release completely. It's close. If you get a perfect line, maybe. Like this, and then... I mean, it's difficult to get that timing for that last turn in. So this is basically just a precision map, I would say. So turn-in timings and getting as close to the walls as you can. You have good angles. This was obviously not good. But yeah, I think that would be it. My first instinct was to do a drift. But sometimes it's just better to not drift at all, and maybe even sometimes release instead of drifting. Especially for these more sweeping turns like we have here. I did even get this quite good for my previous best here. Was just a lucky guess with the timing, I would say. You need to be really brave because it feels like you're steering in way too early and are gonna hit the inside wall, but actually like this it felt super early and I still was quite far away. So yeah, once again, as I said, basic map, but you can definitely still learn a lot. This, I think, is kind of close to what the beginning tracks of the Trackmania school for road are like, as far as I remember. We're gonna check those out at a later point when we're done with the dirt campaign. But yeah, these things are definitely good to know and good to practice, because these kinds of things can always be, at least in parts, on other longer tracks, so it's always good to have all of that in your repertoire. But yeah, I feel like it's all about the turn-in timing here. So probably also just getting a good angle here, and then, yeah, this looked good. Nice, nice. This went a lot faster, and I'm quite happy with the time. So we can take a look. So quite close to the wall. I was kind of brave for that last turn, but yeah, I did decide to go to the left wall here, and then turn-in timing here was good. Not perfect, but good. And once again, for the last one, I was brave. I was kind of hesitating at first to even turn in that early, but you need to. This is what Stadium Car, especially at speed, is all about. You need to turn in quite a bit earlier than you think to give the car a chance to rotate. So, nice. I think we'll go to the next map now. And this one seems to be dirt. And we've practiced dirt, so let's see if we have retained something. This is like two paths that are basically the same. Not 100% sure. We can go also towards the other side. I mean, right side's faster, right? And this is kind of awkward with the jump. I'm not quite sure how to take that. That's maybe something where we can take a look at the world record, or like, yeah, other times. So yeah, how do you want to take that? I'm not 100% sure. Like, do you maybe want to go like this and then air brake? It's a possibility for sure. And we're actually super close to author time with that already. Or you could, of course, also try something like this and have an earlier landing, more or towards the top. But I'm not 100% sure if that really works. But I think what I did was actually not that bad. So let's try to replicate. That is a little bit high. And I kind of wanted to try smooth steering, but you don't make the corner if you aren't really starting that smooth steer from the bottom here. Okay. So definitely I learned something, but still you can see the gear shift here is kind of awkward. Kind of need to stop steering before you get to the jump, and yeah, air brake also needs to be on point here so that you actually land properly. And yeah, you can't really adjust when you are jumping off because gear shift happens there, and yeah, of course you don't want to steer when you gear shift on dirt. I actually lost the gear there, but yeah, I can definitely go faster in the end section there. Just need to get a good and clean beginning here. Not 100% sure how. I think I'm just going a little bit more towards the inside. I did eat the gear here, but yeah, really difficult because of where the gear shift to third gear happens here. That was just too unstable for the car to land. That also slows you down. But while this is not a like beginner dirt map to like actually learn dirt, I think that's more in the realm of the Trackmania school dirt campaign. But I think still a little bit too early of an air brake. You can see how much time is still left in that end section. That was a better air brake. Not quite managing to get that sloped corner there in a way that Yeah, I think it's also a lot about the angle that you land in, so you need to have that properly, because this way I'm facing too much upwards and I have a hard time actually getting the corner without losing too much speed. So something like this, but I can't eat the gear like I just did. That looked better. I now managed to get a better turn for the end, I think. Close. PB, but still missing 3/10. Yeah, need to be angled more towards the bottom of that slope. And I can't eat the gear like this. That just slows you down too much, and that's all what dirt is about. Well, not all, but it's a lot what dirt is about, and yeah. It's difficult when you can't adjust right before you jump off, because the gear shift happens there, so definitely not an easy one. You can hear that just slows you down too much, and I don't even have third gear if I eat it like this. I feel like you can also lose it if you are just a little bit too slow and steer too much. So not an easy map. And that is also something that I've wondered about these under 10-second maps. What's the difficulty here? I mean, tracks themselves, you can easily finish them, all of them I think, but it's in the end all about how hard is the author time. And I think it's not particularly hard, but it's definitely for a player like me a challenge, and something that is definitely fun to hunt, and it doesn't take forever like some of the longer tracks would. But you still have some challenge for sure, and that is why I enjoy playing these. Let me know in the comments if you'd rather see me go one by one like I'm doing here and trying to get the author time, really understand the maps, or is it more fun to you for watching if I go on a server and basically just have some fun there and have a limited amount of time also for each map. Let me know what you would prefer. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Does this sand on the inside even slow you down? Really didn't feel like that. Well, maybe it does. But let's see if we can get this. Well, here we go. Okay, that was a lot better. I wasn't super clean on the gear shift once again, but the angle was nice, and I think good air brake, getting me right where I need to go. Also did smooth steer a little to get a little bit more speed on that sloped section here, basically here. Did stop steering a little bit also, and yeah, just clean end, so nice. We can move on to the next one. And it seems like these first maps are basically, let's just look at every single surface, because now we have these, I don't even know what they are officially called, elevated blocks. I think the community just calls them sausage. And yeah, you can just jump out of them like so. It's basically road surface, so you can do textile stuff, so also sliding or drifting. But yeah, you can also just jump out like this. So let me see what I think would be the best line here. I think here probably quite inside and then jump early. It seems quite good. Not 100% sure here, because if you just go straight up, then, well, that will be slower because you are actually moving up a slope. You can see that I'm so behind, so I need to go towards the side for the beginning for sure. I think since this is a corner like this, probably that's the way, and then maybe, yeah, I think that might be it. Just go very much inside and then jump out late to get as much speed as possible. But I need to get over that middle part early enough, otherwise I'll jump and not make the corner. something like that, and then very much inside to try to get the finish as early as possible, but that's actually still 2/10 away. So what am I missing? Because also people are like a second faster on this, so I might be actually missing something here. Okay, let me actually see, is there something else if we continue on here? Is there another finish? Didn't see anything, so... Ah, interesting. I think I'm missing something. Clueless? I mean, this is definitely not the way. So what is? I mean, you don't want to jump here, and that I'm pretty certain of. Then you just want to smooth transition over towards the left side here. But that, as I said, is still a bit away from the record. I did jump here, so maybe there's some time to be gained, and it's probably about the timing of when you actually transition here, and then you obviously don't want to hit the inside. So yeah, these blocks are actually quite particular, more than you would think. I mean, it just looks like road with elevated middle part, but it's actually, because of that, a lot more complicated than normal road surface. You definitely do not want to jump. But other than that, I'm really not seeing it at the moment. Also don't really know where the transition point would be optimally. Probably earlier, but or maybe it's just that you go like this. That also doesn't seem all that fast. So this is probably where we should check the world record, because it seems like I'm missing something here. So let's take a look. What is Kiba, I hope I'm saying that right, doing here in the front? Oh, okay, that's a shortcut. Well, now I know. Now I know why they are so fast, but I kind of doubt that this is the intended way that the author set his author medal time by. So don't think I want to do that just yet. I mean, it's also something, spotting shortcuts and then also doing them is a skill in and of itself for Trackmania, so definitely something that I should learn. But I kind of want to see, since probably all the fast times in the top whatever are doing that shortcut. But what is the thing that you need to do to actually beat this the intended way? That is something I'm thinking about here. This is definitely not it. So I think, yeah, as I said, probably about where you transition here. And then where you jump, maybe, but like, I'm not getting closer at all to this author time. And that's a little bit faster. Nah, not the greatest jump. A little bit too much towards the middle. Kind of want to take the shortest path. It's probably just very much precision here. And then, yeah, jumping out very late. So I think I could get this maybe with the intended way, and I think I'm gonna try for a bit. I think this is as close as I'm gonna get. I've tried for a couple of minutes now. I'm not getting this in. It's probably gonna take a while if I was to do the normal strategy. So let's actually also try the shortcut now. I don't quite remember where they did jump, so let's take a look here. I think basically, let's try to line this up like this. I think here somewhere, and then down towards the water. As I said, shortcutting is also a thing that you probably should get familiar with Trackmania. It's a thing. Almost. I don't know how easy it actually is to get this shortcut, and you really need to get the right angle here. Otherwise, you're not making this jump, and you kind of do want to not get into the water immediately, I think. Because that would... yeah, then that happens. Yeah, I think that's also related to steering. Okay, we could also take a look another time at the record to figure out where exactly they did drive and jump off. Was the palm tree. Otherwise this could have been okay. You kind of want to aim towards the left of that palm tree here. And towards the left of that flag, because that's also in the way. That's actually more difficult than it looks, I would say. To just even get this jump. Something like that. Just a little bit better angle. Something like this, and then... If only I wouldn't wobble that much in the water. I think that's the main problem right now. And even getting over this road border here. Let me actually check once again. What did they exactly do? So... actually jumping a lot higher there. I see. Okay, that's a good info to have. Going down and then jumping basically up here. Okay, let's try that. Hold. Not quite. Was a bit of a better bounce, but not quite. So, yeah, I think you really need to get onto the flat part to drive on that. Because, yeah, this is just not fast enough. But yeah, I've tried for a bit now. I think we're gonna leave it at that. And yeah. This was the first part, like the first 4 maps of the under 10 second campaign by Everios. Really fun, really enjoyable, and I'm definitely gonna play more of this. If it's here in the campaign or on an online server, that's totally up to you. Maybe it's also gonna be a mixture in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But that's it from me. Thanks a lot for watching. I've been HD. Have an awesome day.